18th part of when you were with your mafia husband's child and his obsessive brother tries to hurt you. Author point of view. B was talking on phone when you came out of your room. You heard him taking Taehyung's name. John. V. He instantly turned to you and pulled down the phone. V. What are you doing here? There was a sudden rage in his voice. Stepping more closer, smelled what he had been drinking. John. I just couldn't sleep. He sighed, trying to cover his anger. He stepped near you and you moved back. We, you need something? Jan, no. You felt highly nervous as his eyes were glassy and his pupils dilated when he wrapped his arm around you. We, you look beautiful when you are scared. His words and proximity was toxic. Jan, let go. You smell so bad. He removed his hand. We, sorry, go and sleep. Not wasting a moment, you ran back to your room. He chuckled. We, she is cute. Then he felt sad, and I tortured her. Next morning, you entered in kitchen and started making breakfast for yourself. You were worst at cooking, yet you tried. We appeared while holding his head. He grabbed a bottle of water and attached it with his mouth.
Water falling down his neck, and that wet his shirt. His feet stumbled. He was about to fall down, but you held him. That was unintentional. You backed away when his gaze made you nervous. He sat down. Jan, last night you were talking about Taehyung. How is he? You were eavesdropping? Jan, no. He is alive. Jan, he must be finding me. He was annoyed by your questions. Jan, Taehyung was. We stopped taking his name. He said sharply. You averted your gaze.
And continued what you were doing. He stood and stopped a step away. We, let's do a thing. Call me with his name. You stared at him in confusion. Come on, Jan, you are not Taehyung, and you can never be. Even I stared in his grey orbs. You talked about not walking on the dark path. Will not you hold my hand to drag me out of this? His words were giving you shocks. Not answering, you walked out. B was busy on his laptop when you walked in while biting your lips. Jan, I need something. He just put aside the laptop and walked to you. B, just name it. Jan, why is there no other woman in the house? His eyes narrowed. B, you need a woman? You let out a heavy sigh. Jan, B, what? He asked, and you looked up in shock. How can he not know about it? Jan, for monthly, I need them urgently. B, I am not getting you. Jan, are you acting dumb or you really don't know? Your voice raised in anger. Pushing him aside, you went to couch and grabbed his notepad. Writing a few items, you passed it to him. Jan, get me these now. It's urgent. Jan, he read them. What are they for? Jan, I said now. You yelled, and he was surprised by your reaction. All right. It took him an hour to come back. He rushed in your room, and you were writhing on the bed. Shan. For the first time, you heard care in his voice. Running to you, he sat down near the bed. Hey, I brought everything. Get up. Cramps hit you so bad that you could not stand. He lifted you and took you to the bathroom. Leaving the things there, he came back. You stepped out, and he again carried you in his arms and placed you on the bed. Jan, it hurts. You were taken aback when he gave you hot water pads. They will help a little. You can guess he searched about it, or might have asked someone. We, any cravings? I picked a few things. He showed you the snacks he bought. Let me break the hot chocolate for you. His care stunned you. He appeared with a mug. Take this. Why are you sitting like this? He took the water pot from your hand and gave you the mug. Regret spread in him when he lifted the shirt and saw marks of the bed. Placing the pad, he pulled it down. We, is it hurting too much? You nodded. We, finish the drink and tell me if you need anything else. John, all this is enough. I will be fine. He did not want to leave, but stood and walked in little steps, as if he was expecting you to stop him. But you let him leave. Few days passed and he cared for you day and night. You were watching a reality show and it was bothering you that we had not returned yet. It's not the worry, but the fear, as you were alone in the big house. Key was twisted in the lock and he barged in. Janvi, you stood. There was on his shirt and his feet were unbalanced. He was stumbling to his room and you followed him. He fell on the bed, stormed in. Jan, what happened to you? Going near him, you asked. A female doctor also came in. We, nothing, don't worry. Jan, did you hurt Taehyung? Tell me, is he fine? Your question slapped him. He thought you were worried for him. Rosie, oh, it looks deep. She was about to touch the wound on his chest, but he held her hand while his glares fixated on you. We get lost. You almost forgot how he yells and gets angry. As in past few days, he was a totally different person. I said get lost. He yelled again while breathing fast. Looking at the doctor, you had a strange smile on her face. You left the room. Rosie, is she that girl? We shut up and do your work. Rosie came out and stopped near you. Rosie, I treated him for once, but you have to change his bandage daily. You can do that, right? Jan, he can do that by himself, right? She smiled at the sarcasm in your tone. Rosie, you are exactly how he described you. You looked at her confusedly. Rosie, well, you should help him when he cared for you in your craft days. Jan, what? How do you know? The smile was permanent on her face. Rosie, he told me. Jan, then he must told you the details of how he endlessly tortured me. And I lost my child because of him. Your eyes pinched due to tears. Rosie, yes, he did tell me. You did not expect that man to share his life with someone. She caught your confusion. Rosie, I am his psychiatrist. He is waiting that you will offer him a hand and pull him out of this dark world. You shake your head, Sean. I hate him, Rosie. I know it's not easy. Make a decision. It's all up to you. She patted your shoulder and left. You looked at the door of his room. Holding a bowl of soup, you entered in the room. He was lying with closed eyes. Jean, get up. He opened his eyes. They were red. He must be in pain. V, help me. You huffed and placed the bowl on the side table. His shoulder was bandaged. You helped him in sitting up. V, I cannot drink it by myself. Taking it, you sat down. You gave him a spoon and his face twisted. V, is this how you always make soup? Or it's a special recipe just for me? His reaction mocked you. Jean, it must not be that bad. V, I am sure you haven't tasted it yet. You frowned. To check it, you had a spoon and spat it right there. His lips tucked up in a smile. Jean, what is this? V, poison you prepared? Jean, you are too demanding. I cannot help with this. His brow raised at your allegation. We, all right, leave this. Just bring the fruits. I will order the soup later. You brought fruits and fed him with your own hands. He kept smiling, and it was making you nervous. In morning, you came back and saw him moving around. Jan, if you are so fine, then I don't need to do your bandage. He looked happily by your presence. I would really appreciate if you help. Rolling your eyes, you said the things. He laid down, removing the bandages of a wound that might be caused by a dagger. We shaking hands, you did the job. We thank you, Jan. How you got this? He is alive and all fine, don't worry. He knew you wanted to ask about Taehyung. Jan, I am here with you, so he should be all fine. It's a sacrifice to live with you, like the world outside these walls does not exist. Your sharp words and hatred glare cut his heart. If I change, will you love me then? He never asked it before. It was impossible to think that he can try to change. Tell me everything, and I will become like him. What should I do? Should I get all those tattoos? I can do that if you like. You stood from the bed. Jan, shut up, V. Getting same tattoos cannot make you Taehyung, and I can never see him in you. You yelled, V. And what if I want to return back from this path of darkness? Will you hold my hand? He forwarded his hand, and you were in a puzzle. V. Please. Many thoughts were swirling in your mind. His tortures, Taehyung's love, Rose's words. Your hand was shaking when you gave it in his. To be continued. Thanks for watching and love you all.